Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Glad you're along with us here on Longshore and McKnight. I am Barry McKnight. I am in my home studio. John is at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. Great to have you with us here. Yep, it was not a lot of sleep for me last night. I got in this morning at about 3:40 this morning. Um, just an hour or two of sleep, then on the air here after a debacle in Norfolk, Virginia. Troy falls to Old Dominion yesterday, last night, national television, ESPN, by a final score of 33-0. 33-0. Tough to account for and all of that. So, whew, yeah, it was rough. Did not see it coming at all. Certainly the nature of how it happened. Glad that that's over and hopefully on to better days after that for the Troy Trojans. John's working on his microphone, trying to get that ready. And gosh, we got a lot to talk about on the program today. As we get things started, we can talk about the Troy game if you want. I understand, but man, there we go. Go. Obviously, the Trojans were not prepared. He certainly did not look ready to play last night. It was difficult to broadcast that game. And I, not on behalf of Troy University, but I would like to issue a formal apology to the Phantom this morning.
Well,
rough night for the Trojans, okay. John.
It was a rough night.
It was, gosh.
I don't want to say
many lights like
I
that.
could see it coming early, but I could see it coming early. In that game. That was one of those you wonder, man, they get off the bus. That was a tough one. Now, Old Dominion, I will say, looks like a pretty good football team for what that's worth. I will say that. They look pretty polished.
They're good. All credit to them, but they're not as good necessarily as Troy made them look last night, which is, like world beaters. Congratulations to them. Man, it was a long night.
Well, that was my next question. That was the next thing I was going to ask you. How long of a night was it?
It was so long. Sound like Ed McMahon. We, of course, late night. I tell you what, everybody was in a hurry to get out of there, and that kind of helped, the ETA back in Troy. We broke down our equipment, had it packed up, ready to go about 10 minutes after that the broadcast was over.
What time did you arrive back in Montgomery?
Got to the Montgomery Regional Airport at about 2:20 this morning. And got out quickly. Thank gosh. Thank you, everybody over there, all the people, for getting us out of Montgomery Airport. Got back into Troy at about 3. I went to bed at 3:40 this morning. And by went to bed, I mean stretched out on my couch. And,
I hear you.
I'm wearing several of the same clothes that I was wearing last night during the broadcast. So 3:40 this morning, got to bed, fell asleep just a little bit before 4. And here and ready to go. And
well, you'll have I assume a relaxing weekend after the Thursday night game.
Yes,
but it was tough. I was watching some of the Troy Old Dominion game, and then of course I had the Alabama Purdue game on. Tom Hart and he used to coach the Arkansas women.
Jimmy Dykes.
Yeah,
I've worked with Jimmy Dykes before. Ding on television before.
Great Jimmy Dykes line. I think that combination's really good.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't take them long in the broadcast to mention the fact that, Tom, there's another big game in Tuscaloosa on Saturday. I'm thinking, well, yeah, kind of, but let's focus on the Purdue-Alabama game while we're at it. But good game, exciting. Two really good teams. Bama falls short.
Yeah, that's on the way back home, on the flight home, couldn't sleep, so I'm sitting there. Well, no, on the drive back to the airport, and that's what all the accounts were in that game. Look, two really good teams, playing really good basketball. And one of them had to lose. Alabama certainly could have won it. 87-80, Purdue goes to Tuscaloosa and beats Alabama. Purdue was a dog in that game.
They were, Barry. It's interesting because before the game, there was a hockey game on. Then they went to ESPN Bets, which I didn't know that was a network, or maybe it's just a streaming service, but they had it on.
It is a streaming service, and they're about to rebrand it as something else because it just hasn't been working with the ESPN Bets tagline to it.
But they had like a 30-minute show before the Alabama-Purdue game. I thought, wow, this is interesting. They have a show about betting, and one of the panelists, actually maybe more than one, both picked Purdue plus the 3.5. And when I saw that on the screen, I went, man, Purdue's a 3.5-point dog?
Coming back, once I got to the Montgomery Regional Airport and we were driving back, I did see on social media a clip from Nate Oates, and I was wondering, for context, from Kevin Sumrall's question, Alabama got out-rebounded by 25. And, John, if that's the case, and it is, God bless Alabama for only losing by 7 in that game.
Yeah.
Nate Oates says that was embarrassing. They got out-rebounded 48 to 23, and they gave up, out of those 48 rebounds, they gave up 17 offensive rebounds.
Now, I didn't, as I watched the game, I didn't realize that. Maybe it did come across to me like, gee whiz, they can't get a rebound, which normally I pick up on that quick because I think I was going back and forth. I was watching the Troy game, the NFL game, the Bama game. I had a lot going on. So my attention was in a lot of different places.
It was, again, really good basketball game, two really good basketball teams. Really good atmosphere, I heard. I actually got a text from a buddy of mine this morning. Thanks for texting me at 6 o'clock this morning when I was
I picked up on that too. And Jimmy and Tom picked up on that. Maybe that's why they were talking about the football game. This looks like a football crowd, blah, 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 something like that.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, they were I tell you, there were so many people, Barry, you couldn't see the people in the corners where it's really, really dark. I mean, they said they were there, but you couldn't see them. But, man, they were all up into the rafters, up in the nosebleeds. So I think they had 15,043 last night.
Did basketball season, I'll go ahead and ask it. Did they have that scar, that blemish on Coleman Coliseum known as the gray area where they seat the media off in the corner?
I'm glad you brought that up.
I knew it was going to come up sooner or later, so hey, serve it up, Barry. Here we go.
Yeah, it was on my long list of notes. Obviously, Greg Byrne, the memo has not found his desk yet.
Greggy.
But, Barry, the first series down the floor, I mean, right when I'm turning it on, boom, there's where my eyes are looking. I'm focused over there, looking at that boat anchor media section, and I'm thinking, why in the world have they not moved this yet? How many times do I have to tell them? It looks horrible on TV, where you could put fans there. You could sell some more tickets. There again, it'll make it louder. It looks better on TV. When they go to that end of the floor and you see these red little cubicles going up about 6 or 7 rows, what are they called, cubicles? I guess a cubicle's got 4 walls. What do you call those things?
Heck, I don't know.
And I'm thinking, this looks terrible.
Well,
why? I mean, the media, and those are free seats. The media people are eating for your free food, sitting in a free seat in a prime location. And most of the time, they're on the phone doing something else.
Yeah, for John's many friends in the media, and he's got loads of friends in the media. For you guys out there, he wants to stick you so far up in the rafters that you'll have little clouds going by you. You know, you better bring your binoculars to just so John's many friends in the media, many of whom he's got many friends in the media who cover Alabama. He wants you guys way out of. You don't need to see the game. I mean, you know, you. Geez.
Well, how about this, Barry? We'll put them in a conference room there inside Coleman Coliseum with the latest, greatest 4K HD televisions, and they can sit there and watch it and have a perfect, crystal clear view. Do you have to be inside the game to get your information? No. No, you don't have to be there. I mean, that's so old and passe. You don't have
being to be there at the game, you know? Being there, actually being within eyesight of what's going on, man. This is a true statement from my buddy Jason Jones. John, you will be glad to know that Troy has moved the media table to the upper corner of Trojan Arena where it's out of sight, not TV, radio.
Well, certainly the TV and radio got to be there. And if you look at Bryant-Denny and I'm sure other stadiums, there's a little green section right on the 50 about the size of a 78 Cadillac Fleetwood. And then there are all the sky boxes around. And that little green room is where the TV people are. All the other media scattered out all over the place. Barry, I've yet to go into the press box at Bryant-Denny since they moved it. Couldn't tell you how to get there. Don't know where it is. Because
those are your compadres. Those are your boys and girls. Those are your people.
The original one was dead on the 50, and I'm kind of sitting there going, wow, this is nice. I mean, right on the 50. I mean, food, TVs everywhere. And he proceeded to not pay attention to any of it.
Like those guys up there, they're not watching the game. They're up there on the phone. Can somebody corroborate this? Way Offsides Jeff says, heck, fire. They moved Chris Stewart and the radio team up to the rafters. Now, you know, I'm not on the rafters at Troy. Is that true? Can somebody confirm that?
I think Chris is on the floor.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
I mean, he
Chris
has
on
been.
The floor.
So.
Yeah, now
anyway,
I don't know where the radio booth is at Bryant-Denny now. I will say that. I'm not sure where they broadcast the football games.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Since they moved the press box.
Interesting to know. Well, John, like I said, I am in very little sleep, very much caffeine on this Friday morning. Lots to get to today. And if you have the chance. We know it's going to be busy, but it's going to be nice this weekend. If we have the chance and you're not necessarily all that forward thinking that you've made plans to go to the Alabama-Oklahoma game or anything like that, we've got a suggestion. Spend at least some time this weekend checking out the deals at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Prattville.
Well, Barry, you could come in today and take your new ride to Tuscaloosa tomorrow. I mean, it's that simple. Here at Stivers CDJR in Prattville, because they know your time is valuable. So you're not going to be here all day getting this transaction taking place. They can expedite it. They can get you in and out in no time. And they've got plenty of new 2025 Ram 1500s up to $21K off. You heard me right. $21K off plus 3.9% APR for 72 months or 1.9% APR for 72 months. It's your choice. You make the choices here at Stivers CDJR. Jeep Grand Cherokees, Jeep Wranglers, Jeep Gladiators, all 2025 models. You're going to save thousands and thousands on these models. Plus, get anywhere from 1.9 to 4.9 APR here at Stivers CDJR. It is Alabama and Northwest Florida's largest volume Ram dealer right here in Prattville. Why? Because price sells cars and trucks at Stivers CDJR in Prattville.
Well, later on the program, the Phantom 4.
Oh, yeah.
That's big. Also, we'll visit with Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports, checking in later on with Ralph Michaels from Wager Talk and the Gold Sheet. And we're spending a little time previewing what's going on this weekend, and a very big weekend in college football. Very big weekend in the pros. It's, by gosh, John, it's mid-November. Things take on a little extra meaning, both positively and negatively around the football world.
Better believe it. It is a big movement time in the world of college football.
Okay. I thought you meant you were going to have
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're getting at basketball in its infancy. I get it. So, not on panic mode yet. Not to say we're in panic mode in the football, but after Saturday, things could get interesting. Speaking of basketball, Kevin earlier rebounding, John. I know. That was not my forte either. It was shoot and get back on defense to just act like you're defending somebody. Crash the boards and get a rebound? Nah.
Will that be a problem, an ongoing problem for Alabama? I mean, are some of you guys fans of a university that you can't run the football and you can't rebound? Come on, people.
Yeah, Morrill can't run the ball here in just a moment.
I got to go with you on this, John Dent. John says a big movement coming up, and I'm thinking, do we have to take a break right now? I mean,
not yet.
Okay, all right.
I will say this, Barry, as I'm watching the game, and I looked over at the little lady, I went, I don't recognize any of these players. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 you do, but I thought, man, there's a lot of new faces on this Alabama basketball team. And there again, that's every year. You got to get used to it. That's what you're going to see. But, I mean, I said, and that's really the first Bama game. I listened to the St. John's game. I was headed to Tuscaloosa on Saturday. I was able to watch last night. But that's the first time I kind of went, ooh, man, don't know that guy. Don't know that guy either. Huh, interesting.
Had somebody yesterday ask me about this. Somebody yesterday who says, who told me he and his wife used to listen to us all the time, and are really getting into watching this now, especially her. No, go figure. But so why does John have Alabama on upset alert against Oklahoma? I said, whoa. To be perfectly fair, he just says there is a chance Oklahoma could win the game. Even something innocent and innocuous as that, people say, Longshore's picking it up. No. He's not yet anyway.
Not yet.
We'll get into that a little bit later on as well. Again, John is at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. I am at my home studio after a disappointing loss last night by the Troy Trojans. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them, to fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you are with us here. It is a Friday. We are live at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville, Alabama. Barry back looks somewhat rested after a long overnight trip.
Oh no, yes. 33-0 loss for the Trojans last night on ESPN. Got Tom Luganbill on as a pregame guest on the radio network. Such a good guy, John.
Yes. It was his picture. That was a great picture you sent. Appreciate
that.
It
was his idea. He said, "Let's take a selfie real quick and send it to Longshore." Wish he was here. Yeah. It was an ongoing week of college football, and I like it, I guess. I mean, I like having something to watch. Usually the best part of the evenings, I work nights a lot. Best part of the evenings being able to watch something, with my wife Dee and everything like that. And she is a huge football fan, huge Troy fan. And believe me, she wasn't happy at all. But, the whole week, you spend the week and you've got what? Tuesday night, you had Maction. On Tuesday, Kent State. Ohio at Western Michigan. Sorry, John. Maction Wednesday. Troy played on Thursday. Tonight there's 3 games. And I like it. I like having that to watch and everything. But man, playing a Thursday game, especially a Thursday game on the road, I can tell you from experience, man, that is not easy to do. Here's the other thing about it.
When you got to travel as far as you did, that's certainly not easy either.
Again, but sing the praises of the Montgomery Regional Airport, and I'm not just saying that because we're involved with them, but man, that did help. But also, having weeknight games can go a long way here and there towards determining whether you are or whether you are not a big boy. We're talking about John being, having, people saying, "Oh, John's got Bama on upset alert against Oklahoma." Not so much. Way Offsides Jeff says, to be fair, Longshore's had Bama on upset alert for 30 years. Not necessarily true, but I understand Jeff, why you might feel.
At least once a season, maybe, I have them on upset alert. I don't think every game.
Here's also where John makes heavy appraisals of certain programs. Clemson, we know you're having a tough year. It happens. We know that you've won multiple national championships. We know that you played in multiple more national championships. But Clemson playing on a Friday night?
It's a no-no.
This blue blood, again, my definition of a blue blood is if John says they're a blue blood, they're a blue blood. Clemson, you're playing on a Friday. It's on the road. But we know Louisville's not a blue blood.
No, heck no.
Geez. Basketball
Don't let that
school.
Brian Nagel game fool you. That was a flash in the pan.
I forgot about that. Tonight, Clemson and Louisville on ESPN at 6:30. And also, Minnesota at Oregon. Yep. Oregon, you've done a lot of things lately. You've had some really good players, a Heisman Trophy winner, a former Auburn quarterback transferred to your school. Oregon, not a big boy. John, everybody acknowledges that, but you are headed the wrong way. Hosting a Friday night game, that moves you down the John-O-meter in terms of blue blood status.
And if we get into this Big Ten SEC, who's better type stuff, I don't see the SEC playing on a Friday night.
Yep.
And you're subjecting your teams. Minnesota's got to fly across country, 25-point underdog, go up to Eugene to play the Ducks. That's not how you do it. Clemson, I don't get you either. That ACC business, a couple of national championships in the last 10 years or so. You don't do that type stuff.
No.
I can tell you some teams that aren't playing on Friday night. I thought you were one of them. Maybe,
and that's, that's one of those where, you're not out of possible future blue blood status. But the one thing that's an immediate disqualifier, rushing the field. We're watching that.
Started.
You get more than 20 people on the field after your team wins big. And John goes to the tote board, puts a big red line through your name.
Yeah, that's right.
In permanent ink, not that little, erasable marker stuff, for sure. Yep.
All right, so we get to the point in the program where we go over the Phantom 4.
Yes.
We can quickly tell you the Daily Dog Did not hit last night. As a matter of fact, at halftime, when they were down 20, we thought we got a little work to do here in the second half. Didn't happen. We're moving on. Troy plus 11.5. That did not hit for us. So tonight in the Daily Dog, Barry, we're in a game that you were just talking about. It is in DC. It is in Louisville, Kentucky, where Clemson traveling to play Louisville tonight. And the point spread here kind of has me not very confident, but the total does. And we see a game here between two teams that really haven't lit it up a lot this year, going to the total tonight, which is 51.5. So our Daily Dog today is 51.5 under Clemson Louisville. Let's don't look at last night. Let's move ahead to today. You know, what's happened has happened. We're ready to focus on winning tonight. Clemson Louisville under 51.5. So with the Daily Dog out of the way, now we get to the premium selections, which of course are brought to you by our friends at River Region Straw.
You can do a couple of things that can get you in touch and get you in good with Kenny. Number one, you can text him, call him if you want to, 669-5959. And you can also tell him, hey, how's grandfatherhood going? You know, got another one.
Right.
Yeah, a new grandfather. Central Alabama's #1 supplier of pine straw, premium long needle pine straw, for 15 years.
Amazing.
And they can come to your house and install it. And I've had somebody tell me that's pretty sweet. You know, you call Kenny 669-5959 on your way to work in the morning. You come back to work in the afternoon. Boom, done. You look at it for the first time, and it's already spread out there. Looks beautiful. All your neighbors are out there walking their dog, looking jealous. They're cutting their eyes at you and everything, saying, man, you one-upped us again. Give me Kenny's number.
That's right. That's simple. 669-5959. He also has your seasoned firewood to stay warm during these chilly days and nights that are fast approaching. All right, Barry, here they are, the Phantom 4. This is for amusement purposes only. We do not condone any type of illegal gaming activity. You do with these what you want. Last week, 3-1. Another winning week here, Barry. A couple of 3-1 weeks put back-to-back gets us over 500 for the year. We're 2 games over 500. Let's do it today, right now, with the Phantom 4 for this week. What do you say?
Let's do it. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. The Phantom 4 released in order of kickoff time. And again, under no circumstances can you infer that we are promoting any kind of illegal gambling at all. No, purely for entertainment purposes.
Our first game on the Phantom 4 is tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon on the Big Ten Network. How about that?
Whoa. Are we going to SoCal?
We are going to SoCal. Yes, we are. At 2:30 on the Big Ten Network, where Iowa is playing at USC. The Trojans a 6.5-point favorite. USC is 3-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 4 games.
Ooh, strong. Pretty strong.
This will be Iowa's first West Coast road trip this year. And the Hawkeyes did not enjoy a trip to LA last year after losing to UCLA as a touchdown favorite.
Okay.
They don't like SoCal. Hawkeyes, no way.
No, it's not their lifestyle. No.
USC, check this out. Their offense, listen closely here. I don't want this to be confusing. USC's offense has scored an average of 49.2 points per game at home this season. And in those games, the Trojans have scored 30-plus points in all 5 of them. So at least 30 points are getting put on the board. At least. Sometimes more, obviously.
Sometimes a lot more. That's a great trend.
But at least 30.
Yeah.
USC's high-powered offense leads the Big Ten with 503.2 yards per game. Uh-oh, Iowa. Doesn't look good, particularly for a team that can barely get out of the teens. We would love to lay in the 6.5. Take Southern Cal minus 6.5 against Iowa. Trojans big tomorrow in the Coliseum.
I think that's gold. That's gold, Jerry. That's gold. That's beautiful. Okay, 1 down.
1 down. 3 to go. Tomorrow, 2:30 ABC.
Here
Where the
we go.
Oklahoma Sooners at Alabama, the Tide laying 6.
Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath. This is one of the 2 games around the country that can have the biggest impact on the upcoming college football playoff rankings. This is a biggie.
It is. And for all your friends and all of our listeners and viewers and chatters that have made comments about things that I've talked about this week about this game, listen closely. Oklahoma leads the SEC in scoring defense and total defense.
They're strong.
The names on most of the jerseys are different, but the Sooners defense was dominant in this game last year. Expected to be dominant tomorrow. That's not good news for an Alabama team that has had issues with their offensive line all season long and no running attack through 9 games. Last I checked, they played 9 games.
It is true. You've been spitting nothing but facts so far on this one, Phantom.
Oklahoma is on the door of college football playoff elimination. If Bama plays as lethargic as they did last Saturday, it's going to be a long afternoon. Hard to put the offensive load on quarterback Ty Simpson again. Upset alert, Oklahoma wins the game outright. The 6 are a bonus. Take the Sooners plus the 6 in a game we can see them winning outright.
Okay.
Game number 3.
My phone is on silent. Okay. All right. So I'm good. Okay. Yeah. Whew. Because it's fixing to go.
Hey, look, nothing personal. It's just business.
That's right.
Didn't they say that in Goodfellas? Hey, nothing personal. It's just business.
Also said that in the Godfather. Yeah, we
Godfather.
Get the tone.
Yeah, that's right. Any gangster movie, I think they always use that line.
That's right.
A standard line.
That's right before they put the ice pick in the back of your head.
All right, Barry, 3rd game, 6:30 tomorrow night. 6:30 tomorrow night, ABC.
That's the other big game besides Alabama, Oklahoma that can really, really shake up the college football playoff rankings.
That's right.
This is a big one in Athens. This is the one, Fowler and Herb Street, they say, they flip a coin. Do we want to do Alabama, Oklahoma, or do we want to do Texas, Georgia? They flip a coin, and it's Texas, Georgia.
I think so. Yep. In Athens tomorrow, Barry, between the hedges. Texas, of course, coming off a bye week with Georgia returning home after back-to-back road game wins against Florida and Mississippi State. You know that Texas leads the SEC in run defense? I guess that's one stat. The Oklahoma defense isn't leading, but it can't be far behind.
Right.
Georgia not too far behind. They're in the 4th position in run defense. Georgia quarterback Gunnar Stockton has 8 TDs, 1 interception, and a 155.4 passer rating at home this season. Don't ask me what goes into passer ratings, but that number looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, but the higher it is, the better it is. We do know that.
All right. Okay. I like that. Gunnar Stockton's been clutch.
Yes, he has.
In close games this year. Georgia, I got to tell you, they've looked more dominant over the last few games. And I see that continuing because I see a Texas team that's been kind of getting by, if you know what I mean.
I do.
We like Georgia to win this game at home between the hedges, like the way they're playing lately. Lay the 6. We like the Dogs to win by 9.
Okay.
Texas.
Right.
So no more Texas in the college football playoff.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh. Okay. One more.
Our last game, the 4th game. At 6:45 on the SEC Network.
That's Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kubelik.
Yep, that's right. Mississippi State at Missouri. We're going to go with a total here, Barry. It's 51.5. Now, Missouri had to go with 3rd-string quarterback Matt Zollers. You ever heard of that guy?
He's a freshman.
Last week against A&M, and let's just say he looked like a 3rd stringer.
Yeah, he looked like a freshman.
Yeah, he did. He went 7 of 22 for 77 yards passing. Woo!
Woof.
Tore up the stat sheet. Unfortunately for Mississippi State, it's looking like they got to go with a backup as well this week after Blake Shapen was unable to finish the game against Georgia. I can see why. Whew, guy was getting hit a lot.
Yes, he was. 4
of Missouri's last 5 games have stayed under the total. We see both defenses here going to carry the day for the offenses. Lower scoring, clock ticking, ball on the ground. Under 51.5 is the play. Mississippi State at Missouri. So.
Okay. All right.
Here's the recap.
All right. Here we go. Recap. The Phantoms Premium 4. The Phantom 4.
We're 3-1 the last 2 weeks, folks. Just saying.
That's right.
Getting 2 games over 500.
Yep.
Game 1, 2:30. Iowa at Southern Cal. Lay the 6.5. Love the Trojans laying the number here in the Coliseum tomorrow. That's
nice.
A 12:30 game on the West Coast, Barry. You got to factor that in. It's an early game on the West Coast.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. I don't either. Next game, 2:30 here locally. Oklahoma at Alabama. Homecoming in Tuscaloosa, Barry. Bama laying 6. Whew. The basketball team lost last night. The football team's losing tomorrow. Take the 6 and Oklahoma.
All right.
6:30 tomorrow night. Between the Hedges and Athens, lay the 6. We like the Bulldogs against the Longhorns. And our last Phantom 4, Mississippi State at Missouri at 6:45, under 51.5. So you heard what the Phantom has to say.
Yep.
When we return, Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports is going to go over some games with us.
Yep. All of it brought to you by River Region Straw. Delivery and installation, curbside pickup. 3 locations in Montgomery, over by Chantilly, right where John is right now, near the viaduct in Prattville, and a location in Auburn. No job too big. They'll cut you a deal with bulk orders for large jobs and landscapers, and no jobs too small. River Region Straw brings you the Phantom every week. We've got Lee Sterling coming up next. John is at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. I'm Barry McKnight here in my home office in Troy. It's Longshore McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. 1 additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the River region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Okay, back at it here about 20 minutes to the top of the hour as we do each and every Friday. Our man Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us to break down some big games. Lee, good morning. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Well, don't ask me because that's not a really good question at this point in time, Lee. Not a lot of sleep and a tough broadcast to call last night for Troy against Old Dominion, but I'm hanging in there. Thank you for asking.
Little surprising. Thought they'd be more competitive. Tough for you, for your Trojans and also your Gators. Rough week.
It's been a difficult time to be sure. Let's get started. I think this is going to be a college game day tomorrow. A lot of attention to this one. There's going to be a lot of attention anyway. Notre Dame and Pitt. Notre Dame, an 11.5-point favorite over the Panthers. Lee, what do you think?
Well, if it looks too good to be true, you know what they say about gambling.
Probably
is here. And don't fall for the bait here. Pat Narduzzi saying, not that important a game. Trust me, he's 7-2. Look at what he has ahead. Notre Dame, at Georgia Tech, and then Miami. He loses all three. I'll make this prediction. He's done. So they'll give him the pink slip. 11th year. Think they're expecting, finally to get over the hump here. Not saying they have to win the conference, but I think 8 wins is the bar they want to get to. Problem here is CJ Carr is just so good and so efficient. Has he gotten better? Jeremiah Love might be picked in top 15 NFL draft. Reminds me a lot of Jonathan Taylor. He's that good. I think he's even underused. So I like the young freshman quarterback for Pitt. If they were on the road, this would be an absolute blowout. I think they stay in it for a while, but a couple turnovers will be the difference here. There are going to be a lot of Notre Dame fans there. I like the Irish here. Hate to say it, 35-20.
Yeah, it's a big number, but I'm with you there too, Lee. All right, so Ole Miss laying 16.5, hosting Florida. We were talking about Florida just a second ago. Does Lane Kiffin get back on the plane and go back to Gainesville, or is he going to stick around in Oxford for a little bit longer?
Well, it looks like it's going to be Florida or stay at Ole Miss. I personally think he's going to stay at Ole Miss. I think he's happy, and that's important. He's playing for zeros here, extra zeros on the contract.
Yeah,
a little under $10 million. He could be the first $15 million quarterback. I mean, if he wins this game big. Florida is going to have to pony up if Ole Miss wants to keep him. Do they get a little bit of a hometown discount, keep him for maybe $13.5 million? I think that's where we're going if he wins this game big. Coming off of a bye, Florida. Look, that was one of the mail-in games we've seen of the century. DJ Lagway looked like he didn't even want to be there. Yep. They're saying he is taking first-team reps this week, but the explosiveness here of this Ole Miss team, and Lane Kiffin's not letting up. Like I said, if he can win by 21, 28 points, 30 points, more zeros in the contract. Home game, I like Ole Miss here big, 40-17.
I am absolutely commandeering the phrase playing for zeros. That's my new favorite. I like that very much. How about this one? Boy, Texas A&M has been impressive. You've given them their props pretty much all year. They're taking on South Carolina. Texas A&M, 19.5-point favorite. That's a lot, Lee.
Yeah, so here's the problem with South Carolina. They beat A&M last year, 44-20. Lenore Sellers, that was the game. Him on the map. Trust me, they're going to be ready for this game. They couldn't tackle him last year. They're doing a lot of tackling drills. And now all of a sudden Mike Shula's gone. They're putting the blame on him. Okay, maybe it's partially play calling, but offensive line is horrible. One of the worst offensive lines I've seen in SEC history. You think of him as a runner, a dual threat quarterback.
Right.
He only has 158 rushing yards on the year. What he's doing is he's running laterally and backwards a lot, and 3 rushing touchdowns last year. People love him, and he's been linked to Miami now for next year. I think Miami's going to try to go with more of a dual threat quarterback. But last year he completed just 65% of his passes. This year down to 61%. So maybe a better offensive line, better skilled players around him, but I'm still not sold on the guy. So Think he's a little overrated here. A&M, they and Ohio State, in my opinion, no perceived weakness here. So they may lose, but I think in the playoffs, it's not going to be here. I think A&M is going to lay one on them here. I think they win. They're playing for a 1 or a 2 ranking here, and you get to choose pretty much. I think you get to choose which of the 4 venues you want to play in closest to home. I like A&M big, 38-17.
So are you tipping your hand here, Lee, by the black and red that you've got on this morning as we talk about our next game, Texas at Georgia tomorrow?
Well, you could say it has some Alabama red in it too.
Yeah, true.
It's close. So this game here, I love rematch games. Where the team that the last year before came in overconfident, and that was Texas. Texas was playing at home, number 1. Everyone thought they'd win the game. Georgia dominated pretty much from the second series on. And now the shoe's on the other foot. Texas given very little chance to win this game here. They're the desperate team. Georgia, almost a 92% chance of making it to the college football playoffs. Gunnar Stockton's looked great. Even Mike Bobo, who I've been highly critical of at times early in the season, years past, his play calling has improved. But here's the kicker. Texas, 2 weeks to prepare. If I'm them, I pull apart every single snap that Gunnar Stockton's taken, and I want to find plays where he's had trouble figuring out what defense you're in and some schemes. And I think with 2 weeks, going to be a lot and going to be in Texas's favor here. And Arch Manning found some success recently. Wrong team favored. Ooh. Texas straight up, 31-28 over Georgia. Mayhem.
You ain't
There
kidding.
we go. Last year in Norman, Oklahoma absolutely handled Alabama. But now Alabama's better than they were last year. But then again, so is Oklahoma, Lee. Alabama -6 at home against the Sooners. What do you think?
So when I was watching the Oklahoma-Tennessee game, had a couple friends over, looked to them at the end of the game, and I'm like, you know what? We were on the wrong side of this game. We won the game with Oklahoma. Tennessee was the better team, my opinion, that night. So you have to identify sometimes when you got lucky that game. John Mateer is good, but he's not as good as he was before the injury. 303 passing yards before the injury, just 183 after the injury. Jalen Milroe was quarterback last year. You could game plan a lot easier against him than Ty Simpson. Looked like when they came off the field, like it was just another game last week. And used to be beat LSU, you're celebrating. Sure. It was like they beat Mississippi State. This is the game they want, guys. This is the one they want here. Under a touchdown. Bama's the call here. Roll Tide, 31-17.
31-17. Lee Sterling with the Tide winning big. Just got to tell you, got to be up front.
Yeah.
I like Oklahoma to win the game outright, Lee.
Wow.
I think they're going to beat the Tide tomorrow.
Okay.
Alabama's lack of running game, some offensive line deficiencies, I think it bites them tomorrow.
Well,
okay.
We shall see. Well, right in the middle of November, Lee Sterling and Paramount Sports. How do people hop on this moving train, Lee?
Yep, you can get every single game through the end of the month. Use coupon code SAVE200, just $297. We rate the games from 10 to 50 units and looking to keep rolling here in college football and the NFL. Also, if you just want the NFL, we're on a 31-9 run in the NFL. It's called Lee's NFL Sunday Golden Ticket. We've basically gone on average 4-1 every week for the last 8 weeks. That's $197 for 5 selections for the next 4 weeks. Lee's NFL Sunday Golden Ticket and the big UFC card, Madison Square Garden, 6 selections, including a 50-unit max wager there, $55. One place, ParamountSports.com.
Lee, I'll just let you know real quick, our viewers and listeners in the last minute and a half, they are praising you on the chat line and they're cussing me. So,
hey, it's been reversed plenty of times too.
Yeah,
got to call it. One of us is going to be right. That's
That's true. You're right about that. Yeah,
great thing. And how about last night? I had so many my clients like, "What are we feeling about last night?" I'm like, "Well, we're not going to play the game." I had 4 games. I went 4-3 in college last week. Lost 3 games by half a point.
Ooh.
And the game last night fell right on the number.
It sure did.
If you got the game early and you had the Pats, you won it 12.5. You waited 13. You got the push. Shows you how important that half point is. And like John, you got to have 14 different outs.
Yeah. Well, I've said it a million times. How do they know? How can they get it so close?
How does John know about geography? He's got outs in Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Jamaica. Yeah. He's all over.
He gets around, that's for sure. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. Always enjoy it. Thanks a bunch.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Lee. It's great stuff. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joining us each and every week. And Barry, Lee is brought to you exclusively by our friends at Jim Massey Cleaners and Laundry. You know, Jim Massey is an Alabama-based family-owned operated business specializing in dry cleaning and laundry services, serving the River region since 1941. So I want you to go by any of their River region locations, 13 available for you here for your convenience, or you can take advantage of their Save a Trip, where they pick up and deliver your cleaning at no extra charge from your home or your business. They get it just like you want it, whether you want it on hangers or folded up, no problem. Of course, their wash, dry, and fold service, also very convenient as well. And if you're going out of town and you don't want to wash sheets and towels and all that type of stuff, bring them home, take them to one of the convenient Jim Massey laundromats. They'll get them all clean, folded, shrink wrapped for easy transport. Jim Massey Cleaners and Laundry, bringing you Lee Sterling each and every week.
Yes, still more to come. Lots of programming here, including Ralph Michaels from the Gold Sheet and Wager Talk. John is at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Prattville. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150s and Lightnings, each $16,000 off, with 2.9% on F-150 or 0% on Lightning, and Super Duties, $12,000 off or 0%.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Broncos and Explorers, each $10,000 off, with 2.9% on Explorer, plus Mach-E's at $11,000 off or 0% for 75 months.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Back again live at Longshore and McKnight.
There we go.
Yep.
Ooh, a Sprite.
Yep. It must be a nice day in Prattville. That's for sure.
It is. I'm going to scoot over here a little bit. There we go. It is, Barry. It's a beautiful day in Prattville. As a matter of fact, Will Fisher, director of golf at RTJ Capitol Hill in Prattville, which is about probably a driver 3-wood pitching wedge with me. I can't hit it as far as I used to.
Right.
He'll tell us a little bit about what's going on over there later today. But as I mentioned with Lee, people just don't like the fact that I'm picking Oklahoma to win the game tomorrow. I mean, what am I supposed to do here? Yeah, sing the fight song and yell Rammer Jammer? I mean, I think that this is a spot, and I've looked at it and thought this for weeks now. I just can't see Alabama living on the edge every week. Somebody's going to bite them, and I think this defense that Oklahoma has is one that can do it.
Something wrong.
I don't think Oklahoma's got a great offense by any means.
No.
But I think the defense is going to give Alabama some problems.
That's a risk. That's a risk, but it's always a risk. I mean, getting out of bed in the morning is a risk. You can't be afraid of risk. You know, the prognostication, I don't know that it's wrong, but I do think that the matchups, the weaknesses, the comparison, the things that Oklahoma does really well, play defense. They're pretty good in the in pass defense as well. They rush the passer really well. I think those things they do defensively put them in a position to attack the things Alabama doesn't do well on offense. They're not great at protecting Ty Simpson, and believe me, he'll get sacked tomorrow. Tomorrow he'll get sacked. Not a ton, but I mean they're gonna hit him. But the things Alabama does defensively better be in full force, because I think the Oklahoma offense can be had. Their offensive line is better. They were horrendous. Their receivers are better. They were horrendous. I do think it comes down to turnovers. If somebody can get to +2 in the turnover margin,
good point,
then that's the team that I like.
Well, we saw how many times Alabama turned it over last year in Norman, and that was their death knell. Certainly didn't help that their quarterback couldn't tackle. You think, if you're playing college football at some point in your playing career, through Pee Wee to junior high to high school, you had to tackle somebody.
Well, my theory there is that learning how to tackle with aggressiveness, learning how to tackle forcefully very early on in your football career. Hang on, a sneeze is coming, so I'm going to break away for just a moment at some point.
Knock yourself out. It's the sneezing.
Hopefully that's the only one. Yep. That is really the first thing for a lot of American boys that helped them decide whether they liked football or not.
That's right.
Because, you were there. You were in those tackling drills as a youth football player in those glorious days.
Oh, so good.
And you're in that line with all the guys who are going to be the ball carriers. Yep. And on the other side, you got that line of guys who are going to be the tacklers. And you're in between that row of tires or cones or whatever. And, you got the whole team split in half of them tacklers, half of them ball carriers, and they switch it around. And you're like number 7 in line. And Longshore's looking over there. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, 4.
And it was that one kid who looked like he drove himself to practice. Yep. That was number 7 over there. And you're like, for a lot of kids, that's what turned them on to basketball.
Well, you're right.
That's what made them think, long distance running. I may be good at that. That's what made them decide. So sooner or later, you got to figure out.
Got to be able to tackle.
Tackling is important. Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't obviously have to tackle that much being on the offensive side of the ball, but there were times that you had to tackle, whether it was practicing through Pee Wee all the way up through high school.
Yeah. John didn't throw many big
physical, but you had to go ahead and just, really bite down on that mouthpiece extra hard, knowing I got to put forth a good effort here. I got to do something I really don't want to do, but my teammates are going to respect me for going in there and sticking my head down, lowering the shoulder, and giving this guy a piece of what he's given me. They'll pop you on the helmet. Way to go, man. Hey, that was awesome. And then you don't do it again for maybe the whole season again. It was great. So
it is great. That is the proper way, not only to go through that horrendous tackling drill, but it's also the way to go through life. The only downside, really, if you end up doing it and end up putting a pretty good look on the guy who outweighs you by about 40, is that when they do pat you on your helmet, you don't really feel it because you're looking out through your eye hole of that helmet after you do it.
I will say this. If you're not athletic enough to get into the right tackling position, well, that's on you. I mean, believe me, I saw a bunch of people. I'm thinking, oh, Lord, look at Poindexter over here. He's about to get killed. But, you got to at least get into a football position, initiate it, make some contact. Like they always said, Barry, it's going to feel a lot better when you're hitting him as hard as he's hitting you. If you just stand there like a tackling dummy, it's going to be pretty rough.
One of the great truths of American youth, right
Yeah.
there. Man, you're gonna have to do it anyway.
That's right.
Might as well be the aggressor in that situation. Might as well be the one who initiates it rather than just sits there and watches it happen.
And once they realize, what in the world, we got some backup over here, we're in tackling drills. So I do it 1 or 2 times. I've done it. I'm standing in the back, and then I'm the guy, kind of the instigator back in the back going, man, really? Yeah. You going to take that from that guy?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Let's go. Show him what day it is. Let's go. So, yeah. So tackling, I kind of dodged the bullet on the tackling drills, I will say.
Yeah. They realize that, number one, Longshore ain't going to tackle anybody unless he throws that out pattern late and the cornerback jumps it.
Oh, yeah.
And number two, even if he does that, he ain't running over to try to tackle the guy anyway. So, why don't we waste his time?
Unfortunately, Barry, I never got the opportunity to attempt a pass. But I would say if I did throw it to the wrong team, I would do everything I could to tackle the guy because I wouldn't want to hear it when I got back.
There would be no Jalen Milroe.
Yeah,
that would
what's
not.
worse? Maybe getting a little pain inflicted on you or walking back to the sidelines, giving no effort and having the coach bending your ear. He's going to bend your ear anyway for throwing the pick.
And all your buddies on the sidelines going to look at you like, well, what was that? Come on, man.
Yeah, like we say, I'm not sure how many passes were thrown in the 3 years I played at Jeff Davis. I'd love to get the stat sheet to see how many passes Mike Turk threw.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure he threw many. We just didn't throw a lot.
To be honest, and he didn't throw a whole heck of a lot of them when he was in college either. Yeah.
So, yeah, we never had that problem.
Well,
with throwing it.
Big games in college football. We've heard quite a few of them addressed by the Phantom in the last hour and by Lee Sterling. In the NFL, I kind of like this as a viewer. As a Jacksonville Jaguars fans, I have seen this a lot. The Commanders and the Dolphins play at 8:30 on Sunday morning in Madrid, Spain. It's the 7th international game of the year. It's the last one. It's the last one this year. 7th and final international game of the season. Commanders and Dolphins in Madrid on Sunday. I like it because, I'm getting ready for church and I could watch a little NFL football while I'm, straightening my tie or, tucking my shirt in and all that. But man, that has got to be a colossal inconvenience for the NFL.
I would think so. Just the travel, the hotel, the food, all that type of stuff that's got to be taken care of. So, I'm sure that is a huge inconvenience. I don't really get it, Barry. I forget about it on Sunday mornings. I've usually got college football final on or something. Then I go, oh, boy, I forgot about that. They are playing a game overseas.
Yeah.
I did see something on NFL Network about the support staff that goes with these teams just on an away game in the U.S. and just, what happens the minute the game's over, the press conference, the packing, the food that's laid out for the players as they get on they've got it down to a minute by minute of how they need to be back to the airport and on the plane after the game is completed. It's amazing the support staff that's behind the scenes that makes sure everything's running on time.
Yeah.
From press conferences to getting showered up and put your clothes back on and all that type of stuff. And it's interesting, the meal that they serve on the way back, they like to get the meal from a restaurant that's in the city in which they're playing. Something different. And they're not putting McDonald's bags up there. They're getting something from a local place so the players can enjoy a little local flair as they fly back. I thought it was real interesting how that just they got it. They ain't no slipping around. I'm sure it was kind of like y'all last night.
You lose by 33 and you want to get back quick and you don't want any snafus. There ain't a whole lot of chit chat. Everything better be where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You better load the buses quick. You better load the plane quick. You better make sure that the chicken sandwich is sitting there waiting for you. And don't make it because, It is trying to get back home and quickly as you can. This is interesting with with the game starting on Saturday at 8:30 in the morning. NFL Network Commanders and Dolphins from Madrid. This is a legitimate question here from Chris the Bammer. How many people will be watching this game on their muted phone during church service? I have a buddy of mine that one time we were watching an NFL game. This is many, many years ago. And something good happened for his team. And he said, amen. And I'm thinking, oh, you watch NFL games at church, do you? Because, I mean, you got the pastor at our church, who's wonderful. Every once in a while he'll say something, and somebody in the crowd will say, "Amen." Anybody like preach it? You kind of want to do that. The problem is when it's during communion.
Yeah,
you don't want to. Amen. Wait, what? I just took the wafer. So I know it's going on out there. I know that it is. You just got to try to,
I'm surprised, Barry. This might surprise you. I've never watched a Sunday morning NFL game in church. I've listened to a college game on a radio through an earpiece at a wedding that I was a groomsman in.
He's up there, back to the congregation. They are pledging their eternal love to each other, and they see this little wire snaking out of the back of Longshore's collar of his tuxedo.
That's exactly how it was. Wrapped around the back of my ear. You could see the cord going to the back of my shirt. As I'm escorting little old ladies to their seats before the ceremony started, I'm listening to the game. They have no clue. Is this a good aisle for you, ma'am? Which is this okay? Okay. The only I'm sure other people noticed, but Carl Stegall at First United Methodist,
love that
Cloverdale, was performing the ceremony, and I happened to be the last groomsman that was leaving, processing out of the church, and Carl looked at me, and I looked at him, and I said, "Bama just got a fumble," and because he knew I had it in my ear too.
And Carl, who is one of the great men in America, he probably gives John the little nod. You
That's
can't say, "All right, woo," when you're the officiant.
I knew I had to keep it low. I had it on real low volume. Didn't want to distract anything, and nobody could hear it. So, I had it planned out pretty well. But that was an Alabama-Tennessee game. I'm still trying to figure out who schedules a wedding on the third Saturday in October?
Yeah, come on now. What are you, foreign or something?
Yeah.
The NFL schedule got started last night, where the Jets, who were putrid, got beaten by the Patriots, who were pretty good, 27-14. Madrid on Sunday, 8:30 in the morning. And then the final game before Monday Night Football, the Football Night in America, coming up on Sunday night, 7:20 NBC. Lions and the Eagles. That's what I'm talking about.
I like that.
Yeah, there we go. We've had some bad ones in Football Night in America. And look, if I'm going to be forced to watch Maria Taylor in the pregame show, at least give me a good game,
Yeah, I'm with you. And I know you view sporting events a little differently maybe than I do.
I hope so. Because that would drive me nuts to consume them the way John does.
It's like, what was the Monday night game? You're told dull, boring, no good.
Yeah.
It's similar to the Thursday night game a week from last night, Denver and the Raiders.
A worst game in the history of the NFL.
Those games were great. I mean, what are you talking about? We stayed within the number. If you had the under in the game, you're thinking this is great. You're comfortable the whole game. And that's how I view a game. Like, man, they got to tighten up if they're going to cover this spread. So, yeah, I mean, and there again, that's why I think, Barry, years ago when we first got into this, gambling talk was taboo. The NFL did not want any association with gambling. They wanted to stay miles and miles away from it. Do not mention gambling in the NFL in the same sentence. Now, they're promoting the heck out of it. They love the fact that, gamble on the NFL because they know it brings more viewers to their product. and it gives them a reason to watch it. Because am I really going to watch Cleveland and Seattle just because they're on? Probably not as closely as if I got a little coin on it.
Well, here's what the NFL is doing. And yes, I know it. I understand it's all extremely hypocritical for the NFL, but they sent a memo this week to team officials. There have been some recent gambling scandals in other sports, notably baseball, where a couple of Cleveland Guardians pitchers are in trouble for, not throwing the game, but at certain points, throwing a certain pitch or, doing whatever for prop bets. The NFL has sent things out to team officials to kind of watch themselves, be wary of this, because so much of sports wagering anymore, John, is not wagering on who covers, who doesn't, total, under, anything like that. It's these prop bets, particularly as well, the growth of these immediacy bets, I call them. Okay, you can get on your phone. All right, will they convert this third down? Yes, boom, you're in. Yeah, you can't really control that, but they are trying their best to cut down on the prop bets. But at the same time, you've got FanDuel sponsoring the game. You've got, Harrah's, name of the all that kind of stuff.
You bet MGM, Hard Rock. I mean, you got so many. I go and kind of look at all of these gambling sites to see, all the different lines that they have listed. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And of the number that they have out there. I'm with you, Barry. I mean, I'm an old school guy. When I first became interested in sports wagering, it's probably eight or nine.
7.5 at the youngest, 7.5.
I mean, the only thing I knew of was, betting the game, betting the line, or betting the total. And I was, taught at an early age, stay away from parlays, teasers, and turns. They're sucker bets. The bookie can't write them down fast enough, So I kind of stayed away from those exotic type stuff, bets, money line bets. I mean, I kind of got, introduced to that probably in my mid-teens. Thought that was kind of interesting. But my point being, and I've said it forever, you don't have to bet the sheet. You don't have to bet on every game. You just look at the college and NFL slate and pick out several, maybe 3 or 4 on a Saturday, maybe 1 or 2 on a Sunday, and that's it. You don't have to bet every game. I know people that do or did and probably still do. That bookie can't answer the phone fast enough if you're going to bet the sheet. I promise you. That's what they want. But then, Barry, you get into this stuff where you can bet on, is this a run or a pass?
Yeah.
Is this guy going to run for more than 10 yards on the next play? To me, that is crazy. And that is, they got the right to do it, I guess. But and people are stupid enough to bet on it. To me, that is just asking for trouble. And certainly, as we saw in this Major League Baseball story, there again, why these guys aren't making enough money why would they want to deal with that headache? I don't know. But betting on every pitch or throw or kick, that's trouble.
That is trouble. That is big trouble. That is, you're about to have skinny kids because you may not be able to feed them because
I've always said it forever. It's for amusement purposes. You don't want to make it your financial, goal of, I'm going to make a living and support my family wagering on sports. I know there are people that do that. They're called professionals that live in Vegas, and they're doing it every day. And that's just the occupation that they've elected to focus on. But if you got a job somewhere else at the mill or wherever it may be, the car dealership or sports radio, you're not going to make much of a living doing that day in and day out. It's for recreation. You might make the game a little more exciting. And you just got to be there again. It's like with any other vice, alcohol, drugs, smoking cigarettes, sex, whatever, eating too much food. You've got to be able to put a limit on it. I know there are people out there that can't. I get that. There's certainly help out there for you.
Yes.
But there's a lot of people that do enjoy it and handle it responsibly, maturely, and do it the way it's intended to for enjoyment.
Now, this from our buddy Tobias. He says, does local man have odds in Deion Sanders' excuse for quitting? Would it be, I need to focus on my family or I need to focus on my health? the Colorado athletic director is leaving. Yeah, Rick George, who I do not particularly care for. He is the AD at Colorado. He announces he is stepping down. He was the one that hired Dion and all of the circus that goes along with it. He's the one that Dion is on his way. They're 3-7, and they're really bad this year.
Ooh,
this will be their second losing season in 3 years at Colorado. He went 9-4 last year, and they extended his contract and, gave him more money. They reworked his contract, lots more money and everything for a 9-4 year. Well, they're 3-7 this year. They're going nowhere. He's 16-19 now at Colorado,
to me,
and the clock is, the clock is gonging on
to me,
Deion
Barry,
Sanders.
Colorado's a place that could win.
Yeah,
and I know they've had some, success back in the day. Been a while, but to me, that's a place you can win. I would think. I've been on their campus. Their stadium's pretty neat. It's right up there up against the mountain range. They're the only game in town. I mean, is Colorado State really a factor? I don't think so.
Morgan Mindy was filmed, was set in Boulder, Colorado. I mean, they got a lot. There's programs. Colorado's that way. There's an article out I read the other day. Man, if Indiana can win, why can't Maryland? And I'm thinking, Maryland. I know really too. I've followed Maryland a little bit. I know Brian Boomer Esiason went to school there. I know Bear coach there.
Yep. Auburn played Maryland when Boomer was the coach.
That's the first time I'd ever heard. What kind of a dumb name is Boomer Esiason? I don't know anything else about Maryland that I'm missing. It's my mom's first name, but
I'll tell you this, Barry. The only time that I can recall that I've been to the state of Maryland, when my oldest daughter, number one child, moved to D.C.
Yeah.
She wanted to go to some store called IKEA. You ever heard of that place?
Heck yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so the closest one was in Maryland. So we went, and it was during COVID, I believe. So we had to stand in a queue outside of the store to get in because they only let so many people get in. And then I didn't know, never been to one. I get in the place and I can't get out. It's like a maze in there.
Yeah.
You're going from section to section to section. They've even got a restaurant in there.
There isn't any aisles. You're meandering through. What have I got here? I guess this is pottery here. I know that last time I saw my daughter, we were in bed frames. We're in pottery now. How far back were bed frames? I can't figure it.
Barry, I'll never go back. I said, I'm done. I mean, it was 2 hours of just meandering. And then we get there, we're getting through, and she goes, I don't really like anything here. And I'm going, I've just wasted 2 hours. Well, I was with you, though. I was with her. So
spending time.
That made it, and it's a memory. It's a memory that I won't forget, spending 2 hours at an IKEA somewhere in Maryland. I don't even know what town it was.
It's a memory that he will never have again, because he ain't never doing it again. But hey, he did it that one time because he loves his daughter. We've got a lot still to get to. Yes. Ralph Michaels from the Gold Sheet Wager Talk set to join us at the bottom of the hour.
When we come back, though, Barry, Will Fisher, the director of golf, I believe, is going to join us as well. I know Ralph's in the green room ready to go as well. So we got a lot going on between now and the top of the hour. I'm in Prattville live at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Northwest Florida and Alabama's largest volume Ram dealer. How do they become that? By selling the Ram truck at the absolute lowest prices, like 2025 Ram 1500s. You heard me right. Up to $21K off. That's right, up to $21K off and 3.9% APR for 72 months. I'm telling you, folks, you can't beat it here at Stivers in Prattville, where price sells cars.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
This is the greatest opportunity for exquisite jewelry from Marguerite's. Marguerite's is filled to the gills with new trendy styles for the holiday season. But to entice sales prior to Black Friday, Marguerite's blowout is on. Every single item at Marguerite's has a crazy, wacko, insane price. Best of all, you can lay away for Christmas at the cuckoo prices. Plus doorbusters, watch batteries, $8, rhodium dipping, $19, 60% off all diamonds. Marguerite's blowout is on now. Every item at Marguerite's is insanely priced. Marguerite's, Vaughan Road.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust.
Okay, our good friends at Riverbank and Trust. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at one of their locations right here from my broadcast spot here. Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You know, Barry, the month of November, still the fall into savings sales event going on here with not only the Ram truck line from 1500s to the 2500. If you need something a little bit more durable, heavy duty, something like that, you can get 2500s at up to $14K off here at Stivers in Prattville. Of course, they're great Jeep lineup as well. The Jeep Grand Cherokee up to $11,000 off of that beautiful vehicle. Jeep Wranglers and Gladiators, thousands off as well. And we always like to say this, Barry, it's not just one or two or three they're trying to get off the lot. It is every vehicle here at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Yeah.
In the front of the dealership, on the sides, and in the rear, there's so many more there as well. You got to take it. You owe it to yourself to come check out everything that they have here for you at Stivers, CDJR, where Price sells cars.
Well, it is Friday. Again, I am operating on, I guess, 2.5 hours worth of sleep. Back after Troy's disappointing defeat against Old Dominion on national television last night, 33-0. So a little groggy. Don't bring it up to me. But there are also 3 games tonight in college football.
You said that earlier, and I'm looking at my schedule. What game am I missing? I got Clemson at Louisville,
right?
Minnesota at Oregon. Who else is playing?
John, how in the world? ESPN2 tonight, 4:30 in the afternoon, South Carolina State at North Carolina Central?
That is not listed, and I'm on the ESPN website, believe it or not.
Okay.
Maybe these are just D1. Yeah, here we go. FBS schedule. This is the FBS schedule.
South Carolina State at North Carolina Central. That'll be in Durham, where North Carolina Central is on ESPN2 tonight. But other than that, Clemson, Louisville, what did we decide about that one?
Well, I kind of like the
under.
I like the under in that game tonight.
Yeah.
I kind of like the under.
Is Dabo passé? Is he obsolete? Is his way the old way?
I will say this, Barry, and you've heard me say it. I thought Clemson was going to be playing for the national title. I thought Penn State was too. I mean, I don't think I've ever missed before in predicting back in the summer the 2 teams I thought were going to play for the national title. Now, I know we can talk about Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning, and we can talk about –
there have been some misses. It's true.
Yeah, I can't even think of the guy's name now that was going to be the coach at Alabama.
Mike Riley.
Mike Riley. Okay, yeah, but –
yeah.
I'm stunned at where Penn State and Clemson are today based on me poking my chest out around the 4th of July saying, look, I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen.
All right. Okay. So Penn State is 0-6 in the Big Ten.
Yep.
Michigan State's 0-6, Purdue's 0-7. All right, Penn State's 0-6 in the Big Ten. All right, that's not great. That's not great. Is that and of course they fired their coach. Is that a bigger surprise than the fact that Clemson right now is 4-5 and they're 3-4 in the ACC?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's tough. Barry, I want to give a shout out to our man, John Dent.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier in the program today, there was some discussion about where the Alabama radio broadcast team is set up in Coleman Coliseum for basketball.
Somebody, of course, Alabama in evidently a really good game. Alabama couldn't rebound, and that's what cost them. They lose 87-80 in against the number 2 team in the country. No shame in that. And as Way Offsides Jeff says, it was tied with a minute left somehow. He said, I still don't know how.
You're right. That last minute was not good for the Tide.
Yep.
Letting Purdue reel off 7.
And Jeff later on says, heck, gee willikers. They moved Chris Stewart and the radio team up to the rafters.
So I'm looking at the photo that John sent us, Barry. A couple of things stand out.
He's the man.
I guess they've used where Chris Stewart and Brian Passink used to be is now premium seating, which I get. That's money you're wasting letting those guys sit there. You put some chairs on the floor, sell them for, $5,000 a season or whatever. So I get what they're doing there. But they are away from the floor about midway up on the opposite side of where they used to broadcast from. And of course, Barry, when I looked at this picture that John sent us, did I immediately look at the equipment they use, or did my eyes focus to that area across the floor where the media sits?
Over on the left. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
That's like a wart sitting right there that they need to get rid of. I don't know. I guess Greg Burns
used to say that when the Phi Moos were sitting there during the Midnight Madness thing too. What are they doing?
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Barry. As a broadcaster in basketball, would you rather be where they're located or on the floor?
Well, it depends. I like to be on the floor. I'll talk to the referees beforehand, especially if I'm on TV, and say, hey, if there's something squirrely on replay, can you have somebody come over and let us know what you guys are reviewing, or, anything like that. You can hear the coaches sometimes and all that. Jerry, my color analyst, who's the best in the nation, he likes to be up in the in that area, at the concourse, because you can see a little bit better the defense. It's like it's a lot easier to tell if it's a 2-3 zone when you're looking down at it than when you're trying to peer through bodies and people and everything from courtside level. Troy has the home radio. I do home radio and TV down on the floor, and everybody else on our table is donors and the people who have purchased those seats. This is the first year of that. Visiting radio is up in the mezzanine. I've been to several games already this year where I've been up, and I don't mind it.
Yep.
But I've been at Vanderbilt. You're so dang far up there in that close. Same thing with Duke.
Yep.
You're way up there looking down, and man, it's hard to see the numbers from up there. That's just basically they're saying jog off to you.
Yep.
You don't mean anything.
Let me correct myself. That was Way Offsides Jeff that sent that photo to us.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And Brian, in his tweet, his response, somebody said, hey, are y'all going to be on courtside? And Brian, who I've worked with before, ding, Brian says, we are not. This is our new broadcasting location at Coleman. Roll Tide.
That kind of sounds like when Flounder walked in and said, hey, you guys playing cards?
Yeah. Or, hey, it's like in Vacation. Hey, do you guys know the Commodores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We know Ralph Michaels. I'll tell you that from Wager Talking the Gold Sheet. He is going to join us here after this quick bottom of the hour timeout. Ralph's got a lot of good info.
I love this guy. Yeah.
Will Fisher's going to join us in about 15 minutes. Had a big group going out early this morning. He had to get off onto the legislative course. So he'll join us in about 15 minutes. But when we return, Ralph Michaels from the Gold Sheet and Wager Talk.
So the Haverkamps are on the course right now. Yep. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Drive into Fall event is bigger and better at Stivers. Over 150 new Rams in stock, up to 21 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy-duty Rams, 13 grand off.
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
The Drive into Fall event is bigger and better at Stivers. Gladiators, 11 grand off. Wranglers, 12 grand off. Even 3-row Grand Cherokees, 13 grand off or 0% for 5 years.
Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Price sells new cars and trucks in Prattville.
Okay, you just heard Eddie Stivers tell you right here, right now, it's Stivers CDJR in Prattville. So come take advantage of these great deals on the, obviously, the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram lineup here. All right, Bear, our man Ralph Michaels, Wager Talking the Gold Sheet. He joins us each and every Friday during this time slot. Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
Doing great, guys. I have two things I have to bring up. So I was listening to your Hans commercial.
Yep.
So you 24/7, 365. When it's leap year, do you have to change that ad and go 366? All right. All kidding aside, let's talk college football. So tonight, ESPN, they thought this was going to be a monster game, right? Virginia and Clemson. So let me ask you this: Louisville and Clemson. My bad.
Yes.
And it's Louisville, right? It's no extra one in there. So how can a team at home this late in the season, ranked top 20, playing a losing team, only laying this 2.5 or 3 points? Tell me what's wrong with that picture.
Is it maybe, do you see it sometimes where, and the guys in Vegas, the sharps, the wise guys, they are all bottom line guys. Do you think the name sometimes or the brand sometimes factors into it? I wouldn't think so.
I just think it's the fallacy of being ranked 20th that even has it this close. But how about this, guys? Since 2009, home teams as a favorite up to -5. So small home favorites that are ranked against a team with a losing record. That's it. So a ranked team, they're a small home favorite against a team versus a losing record from game 5 on. So we're not talking an 0-1 or an 0-2 team. This is a legitimate middle of the season. Those teams like Louisville tonight are 2-21 against the spread, 8.7%.
What?
You're a small home favorite for a reason, because you're the wrong team favored, and it shows on the ATS numbers.
Wow.
I love a wrong team favored game.
And it ain't like favorites. It ain't like it's like 11 and 13. I mean, 2-21.
And again, if they play well, they won't be ranked next week, because I think they're sitting right at 20. And those 20 and 25s are so boggled in that there's only a few points separating some. But I think Clemson plays for pride tonight. I do like Clemson, because can you imagine Dabo Swinney having to worry about a seventh loss and not making a bowl. I mean, they may not even go to a bowl if they're 6-6. They may turn it down based on their expectations, but you still don't want a losing record in your career. So I think he gets them motivated for this game tonight.
High or low scoring game tonight?
Well, the system, since I still have it in front of me here, 8 overs and 15 unders. So about 65%. Again, a small sample size, only 23 games. Yep. But when I look at Clemson, I actually leaned with the over. I know you guys said under, but that is just me flipping a coin. If you said I have to lean, there's there's times we have strong opinions, and there's times that I throw games out because I really don't have an opinion. That total was one of them because, again, if I was going to use the game at all, it would have been because of the side.
Yeah. Texas at Georgia tomorrow night. To me, it's must win for Texas. If they want to be in the college football playoff, they got to win tomorrow night. They're an underdog close to a touchdown. I think Georgia's been playing better over the last couple of weeks. What do you say?
I like Georgia here. Everyone thinks the one game against Vanderbilt made Texas all right. It doesn't make them all right. Remember the week before, when they just survived Kentucky, we threw them in the trash. So then they go to Mississippi State. They get outgained and only win by 7. But then they beat Vanderbilt by 3 and only had a 5-yard edge in that game against a team that doesn't know how to play with expectations because this is their first year. And all of a sudden now people are saying, we're problem solved. Listen, they went to Kentucky. They had 179 yards at Kentucky. They got outgained by 218 yards. They went to Mississippi State. They got outgained. They played Oklahoma in the neutral setting, which they did have a 44-yard edge. And remember, they went to Florida. Remember how we bashed Florida? They got outgained by 116 yards.
Sure did.
Arch Manning is not okay. Him going on the road against this Georgia defense. The thing about Georgia this year is they have an elite defense without having the blitz. They don't have many sacks. It's very unusual for them to have no sacks in a lot of games like they do, but that just shows how disciplined of a defense are. They don't need that pressure because their back-end coverage is so good. Georgia wins this game.
Yeah, Georgia has been. I know they haven't been, all of the lightning and the big plays and the superior, just game-breaking athletes. But goodness, it feels like they've been consistent to me and are getting better and better every week. Something to be said for consistency.
Yeah, in SEC action, Georgia's plus 89 yards per game. Texas is minus 60. That's 150 yard per game difference between the two teams, and the road team having the disadvantage. This line should be much closer to 10, 11, or 12 with those disparities.
Just to make sure I understand, you're telling me that Texas in SEC games has been outgained on average by 60 yards a game.
And the only reason they won those couple games is because they're plus 5 turnovers in conference action. Yeah. Georgia, again, plus 89 yards and they're minus 1 turnover. So that adds to the disparities of this as well. Texas has been fortunate getting those turnovers. Well, guess what? This is not a turnover team in Georgia. They've only lost the turnover battle. They were minus 1 in 3 games, and they're basically even on the season. So They don't make mistakes. Stockton, a 15-2 ratio, doesn't throw interceptions. We look at Manning, 6 interceptions, for Arch with 16 touchdowns.
So, Ralph, tell me if I've been drinking your Crown Apple again or smoking again when I tell you I think Oklahoma will win the game tomorrow in Tuscaloosa against Alabama. Have I been drinking or am I sober?
Well, Alabama's stat profile is exceptional, but Oklahoma's is actually a little bit better, which shocks the heck out of me.
Me too.
When you look in conference play, Alabama's played a little tougher schedule in SEC action, and they're plus 0.0 yards per play. That's number 64 in the country. Oklahoma is actually number 56 in the country. They actually have a better plus yards per play differential. Yards per play on offense minus yards per play on defense. That's a pretty impressive stat to be better than Bama. But the two things that concerns me are their last 2 games. Now, granted, they played elite offenses in Ole Miss and in Tennessee, but those last 2 games, they allowed 431 yards and 456 yards allowing 315 and 393 yards passing. The defense has gotten exposed against good passers. And I don't know, Alabama's got some guy, Ty Simpson, like with a 17-21-1 ratio. I'm not quite sure, but I think he gets the edge over Oklahoma. I actually like the over in this game. And if you're in a place where you can play some player props, I'd be looking at Ty Simpson, some passing yard props.
Oh, okay. All right. There you have it. So, I think we're on opposite sides, but that's what makes it so much fun. When we all have an opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe you, me, Ralph, living in where we live, people don't like hearing me say I think Oklahoma's going to win the game. I have heard about it all week, especially today from our viewers and listeners on our chat line. Woo!
All right, are you calling for him to cover, or are you calling for the upset?
I'm saying Oklahoma will win the game.
All right, good for you.
Yeah. Anything? Yeah, we were talking a little bit about the NFL slate. There's a Sunday morning game in Madrid. For some reason, they keep putting the Cowboys on primetime. They're playing Monday night, but a really good one on Sunday night. Football in America, Lions and the Eagles. Anything jump out at you in terms of the numbers of any of these NFL matchups that you can tell us about, Ralph?
Well, I'm just looking right now real quick on the Wager Talk Live odds screen. Right now, you can get Oklahoma at about plus 195, so almost double your money on a money line bet there.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Ralph, because I looked at that money line yesterday as well. I see you working there.
Yeah, no question. I have not done much NFL work yet, but I will say this. The two big matchups that we have, the way Kansas City has played and continues to improve, I think they handle Denver. And I think Detroit handles Philadelphia as well. Philadelphia off that emotional Thursday game, low scoring, obviously. It's nice to at least see the wide receiver saying our offense sucks. How much do we have to lean on our defense? You know what I mean? So it's refreshing to hear that they know they're underachieving. But, in this situation off that game, I do lean those two powerful teams with the Lions and the Chiefs.
So much great information. Ralph just giving us a little snippet of it. But at Wager Talk in the Gold Sheet, let our viewers and listeners know, Ralph, how they can get more involved and follow you and get all the information that they need.
Well, again, X or Twitter at CalSportsLV. I do, 5 to 10 tweets a week, and that'll be ramping up more once football's done. I do a lot more in basketball. And just visit my homepage. You can go to Wager Talk and look up Ralph Michaels, or the shortcut is wt.buzz/RM. Even if you don't want to pay for plays, I load a free play every day with a write-up. And you can also go back and look at my plays from the previous 20. So you can read some, and even though the games are over and you're not going to make money, I still put a lot of trends and angles in there, and you can just read and help you become a better, looking at situations I talk about, trends or angles or systems. People think, oh, it's after the fact. Why would I want to read a play? I read other handicappers' plays because you can never stop learning. You don't know everything in this sport. So even I go through and read plays every day from games that are over just to help me make sure I didn't miss something when I was handicapping the card.
Most smart approach. Ralph Michaels, Wager Talk in the Gold Sheet. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for being with us.
Have a great weekend, guys.
You too, Ralph. Thank you so much. Excellent information as always. Check Ralph out. Wager Talk and the Gold Sheet. You'll be glad that you did. So much great information. Am I the lone wolf here, Barry? Am I the only guy that thinks Oklahoma's going to win tomorrow?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not predisposed towards rooting for Alabama. Where I'll go, I say Oklahoma could win it, but I think Alabama playing at home is a big factor as well. Here's a big factor for the weekend. John's in Prattville right now. Supposed to be nice weather for the weekend.
Beautiful.
Will Fisher from the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail site in Prattville. It's Capitol Hill. We bring up the point. Here it is. It's mid-November. I'm just coming back from Virginia. Don't ask me. And the leaves are changing. I bet Capitol Hill is breathtaking right now, Will.
Oh, it's unbelievable. The golf courses are in great shape. this really is the best time of the year to play golf. It's typically the driest part of the year. The golf course is starting to have some changes in the leaves, so you catch some of that, but also the Bermuda starts to really tighten up. Your greens get fast, maybe sometimes a little too fast, depending on who you are. You got the little, yippity yips with the hands, maybe a little too fast.
Yeah.
But no, the golf course is in great shape, man. This is a great time of the year to play golf. I know football is a big deal. And so, if your team is playing and you've got an early kickoff, you may want to not play on Saturday, but you can always play Sunday after church or after you get through with some honeydews. So come on out and see us. It's my favorite time of the year to play.
Yeah, and the weather's going to be fantastic throughout the weekend, all the way into early next week. So get on out there either before the game, or if you're not a football guy, while the games are going on. So you can't beat it. Also, Will, it's important to let our viewers and listeners know the 2026 trail card. It is available. You can buy it at a discount at this point in time. So you need to let everybody know about the trail card, what you get for the trail card, because people don't want to lose out on this. And, of course, I know it's always great during Christmas time to give the golfer on your Christmas list.
Look, navel oranges, don't put them in the stocking. The Brazil nuts and stuff. Put that trail card in there, the world's most perfect stocking stuff.
Yep.
Listen, this is a better value than picking Oklahoma over Alabama. I just want you to know you can get the trail card right now for $44.95. That is $5 off the price that it normally will be. That price will hold until we get to the end of December, and then the price will go to its normal price, which is the $49.95. So, yes, you can get it now, even if you buy it early. And I've had people ask this question, well, can I not use it into 2026? No, you can buy it today. You can use it today. And if you are buying it, as Barry said, if you're buying it as a stocking gift, it is a great stocking gift. We can give it to you in a temporary card. That's what you present to your loved one that you are getting it for. They'll bring that card in and we'll renew their permanent card that they have for them, or we'll go ahead and issue them a permanent card. So it's a great gift, and it's something that you can use not just at Capitol Hill. You can use it across the state at all of our locations. It does provide you discounts at all of our locations. Prices do vary a little bit from location to location, but we can give you a welcome letter that will explain all those prices. And the best part of the trail card that I love to talk about is the reward system. Every time you play golf, you earn points. And if for every 18-hole trail card round you play, you get 50 points. At the conclusion at the point you amass 500 points, you can turn those points into for free round of golf.
Oh, wow.
So we allow people to play free rounds of golf Sunday through Thursday. Obviously, Fridays and Saturdays are the busiest times for us. So Sunday through Thursday, you can come in and say, hey, I think I've got 500 points on my account. We'll pull it up. If you do and you want to use it, we'll let you use it right then and there. So, if you're going to play hooky from work one day, John does that from time to time.
Yeah, I've been known to. Yeah,
right. Uh-huh. Yeah, you're going to want to be able to play golf for free. That way the wife can't track the spin.
That's right.
Right. Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
point.
Absolutely. Yep. So, but no, listen, it's got a lot of great privileges. The pricing is definitely the main one, but we do offer the reward system on the back end as well for the free rounds of golf. And it's great.
And of course, not only the trail card, but also the equipment and apparel in your pro shops for the golfer on your list. I know that's big too. I know we'll be talking more about that as we get closer to the Christmas season time. But don't forget about that, folks. They have a vast array of merchandise and apparel for you to choose from. No doubt.
Top of the line stuff. Tee times and more information. Will, what's the first step for our viewers?
Yeah, they can give us a call, area code 334-285-1114. They can also look us up on the web at rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill. That gets you right to our page. You can see tee times and everything right there as well. And if you want, you can buy your trail card online as well, and we will ship that to you as well. So, lots of great options. And, hoodies are big in golf now. We've got a bunch of hoodies just arrived. So come out, get you a hoodie and a trail card for a Christmas gift. You can't beat it.
Do you have any black hoodies with Says Alabama on the front of them. Like
I don't have any of the Darth Vader hoodies available right now in the golf shop. We'll work on that for you, especially John. But listen, what we do have, the newest line that we are carrying is the Sunday Red line, and that is Tiger Woods' line. And he has some unbelievably great hoodies, and we've got them in the golf shop in multiple different colors.
Oh, yeah.
We do have a black, but it just doesn't have the circle logo on it. It has the tiger pouncing as if it was on Sunday Red in Masters. Augusta. So, absolutely. You got to love it.
There you go.
Will
Fisher. Yes. The director of golf at Capitol Hill.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great weekend.
Take care,
buddy.
Appreciate you.
Awesome stuff. RTJGolf.com/Capitol Hill or give them a call, 285-1114.
Yes. 1114. Yes.
When we come back, Barry, I believe Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 topic wheel is ready to go. We haven't seen these topics. We have no idea what topics Gurn's going to throw at us, and you for that matter. So stay tuned.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Building your finances doesn't happen by chance. It takes guidance tailored to your needs. That's what Synovus provides. Advice from experts you can trust. Solutions for your day-to-day life. So when it's time to make decisions, you can do so with confidence, knowing you're closer to the future you want. From basic banking to financial planning. Let's discuss what's next. Visit a Synovus branch near you. Call 888-SYNOVUS or visit synovus.com/get-there to get started.
Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is excited to participate in our annual Catch Me in Pink campaign, raising money for cutting-edge breast cancer research. We partnered locally with the Joy to Life Foundation and Vera Bradley to help raise significant funds in support of the cause. Each week, we are giving away prizes locally in addition to our national grand prize, a tropical trip for 2. To enter, simply snap an USSI of you and a pink-clad Dixie employee and enter it on our website. Dixie will donate money for every photo that's submitted, and you will be entered to win big.
Okay, you still have an opportunity to give us Monday's headlines today. What will we be talking about on Monday? A big Sooner victory in T-Town? Or will they be piling on yours truly? And I guess, okay, I'm setting myself up for it. That's fine. I'm a big boy. But what will Monday's headlines today? Monday's headlines be? Let's hear about those today. What do you think?
Also, real quick, it's still your chance to get your score in on our Marguerites contest as well. Virtually everybody is picking Alabama, but some of them, including Bob from Pike Road and Daryl. What was the other one? Curtis. Curtis has got Bama 37, Oklahoma 34 in 2 overtimes. So a lot of people are. All I'm saying is Oklahoma has got a chance. And our buddy Joe Pinch, love that guy. He says, "Hey guys, how do you send something to the chat line? Does it only work when you're broadcasting live?" Yes. When we are live, that's when the chat line is live. If you have a thought or otherwise, or if you have a pick in our Marguerites contest, you can always go, like Joe just did when he asked his question, to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. We picked that up.
I appreciate you. I saw that yesterday, and I didn't have the answer. I'm glad that you answered that for Joe, because I wasn't really sure. Good stuff.
It only the chat line is live when Longshore and McKnight are live.
Yeah. So, Joe, thank you for that. Longshore and McKnight at gmail.com. All right, Gurn's got the wheel loaded. It's the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. We got, 5 topics?
We got 5 today.
Let's do it.
Here we go. And 6 minutes to do them. We got all day.
Heck yeah.
Victoryland 777 Casinos, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Trey Ball. This is not somebody's name.
Nope, it isn't NBA.
I thought it would be NBA.
I did
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Travion Henderson. Travion Henderson gets Trey touchdowns.
Bama fan.
Times last night.
Bama fan, you hadn't seen anything like that this year. Ooh.
A running game. Yes. Travion Henderson has been really good for the Patriots. They're 9-2. That's the best record in the NFL. They won their 8th in a row. And for whatever this means, the betting odds now put quarterback Drake May as the odds-on betting favorite to win the NFL MVP award. He has been really, really good, and he was very efficient last night.
I don't know if the Patriots have already – this was the second time they've played the Jets already, but is that 9-2 record really, they play in tough competition? Just saying. Just saying. All right, Gurn, 4 more to go. Let's spin away blue, red, yellow, and green.
Is unstoppable.
I'm going to look up the Patriots schedule here.
Yeah.
The key.
The key.
Ah.
Brent Key, I talked last night. I met up with Tom Luganbill at the Troy game. He was our pregame guest. We talked to him beforehand. Love Lugs. He'll be in on Monday. And I was asking him about Brent Key. I didn't ask him specifically in relation to the Auburn job. And, he was of course, Luganbill, played at Georgia Tech. Brent Key's the head coach, doing really, really well. And he had nothing but great things to say. They're personal friends, which I already knew. But he says Brent is the kind of guy, you got to have somebody that runs your program that absolutely understands NIL. And not just the mathematics of it, but how you coach a guy hard, how you coach a guy energetically, but don't hurt his feelings enough to where he says, well, I can go somewhere else and can make some money. I can transfer out right now. He said Brent Key is really good at that. And to be totally frank, that was something that Hugh Freeze was terrible at. Not that he, didn't understand it or anything like that, but he was, I don't think he pushed the players. I don't think he knew that edge, to where you can push somebody to. They want to get coached. They want to get developed, but you don't have to be mean to them. Yeah. Hugh would coddle them and all that. Brent Key will get to the edge, just like Sumrall will.
Yeah.
I think.
Now, don't forget, we did see Hugh Freeze throw his visor when Jackson Arnold ran the wrong play in a scrimmage.
That was in a scrimmage, and that was about it.
Yeah. These kids today, they're too soft.
That's a good one. Brent Key, he is a Georgia Tech guy.
He is.
That's the only, about the only thing that does not lend himself to that job. But, Lugs likes him very much. Here we go.
Too. It got hard to not like the guy. It's been very impressive. All right, 3 to go. Yellow is where it looks like it's going to land. Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
Not leaving.
That's
that guy at your Christmas dinner party, and you're thinking, good gosh. Yeah, Paul Skeens is the National League Cy Young Award winner. He is going to be the best pitcher of the generation. He may already be, but he plays for the Pirates, and the Pirates stink. The Pirates are awful, and he's not going to stay with the Pirates.
No, why would you?
And he says the right things when somebody talks about, hey, what about the Yankees if they offer you big bucks? Oh, I'm not interested in the Yankees. Yeah, of course. So he's not. But what do you expect him to say? You know?
Like the former coach of the Miami Dolphins 20 years ago when they asked him if he was leaving.
I guess you want me to say it. I am not going to be the next head coach at the University of Alabama. And John was like, yeah,
yes, he is.
Oh, yeah. So...
Yeah, he is coming. All right, 2 more to go. Let's see what we got here. It is the Kansas Jayhawk color scheme to round things up.
It always seems to be that way.
Yeah, it does. Man, these have been close today.
MVP or MVPs?
Who could this be? Dual MVPers? Did it happen? How about that, Barry? Major League Baseball.
Both of them back to back. The same MVPs last year, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, are the same MVPs this year. For Ohtani, he has actually gone back to back to back. His last two have been for the Dodgers. Remember, his last year with the Angels, he won the MVP as well. He's the best player in the world. In the American League, I thought the big dumper was going to win it. I thought it was going to be Cal Raleigh for the Mariners. But Judge ends up winning it 355 to 335. Judge is the best overall hitter in the American League. The guy's 6'7", 280, and he's a tremendous hitter. So I get it.
Hey, Dennis Mitchell, I will text Kirby as soon as we get off the air and tell him he needs a haircut. 8:56, Dennis Mitchell. John and Barry, Kirby Smart needs a haircut. I'll let him know that, Dennis. One more
Dennis.
topic to go.
I admire Dennis's haircut. Dennis.
Oh,
yeah, Dennis.
You kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, chic.
And how the ladies have not just fly. We got to work on that for you, Dennis. We're
got a lot to
on
work on with Dennis.
All
All right, that was MVP. This one will be MVPs, but we have to spin to make it official.
Well, that's exactly right. Is this a singular MVP or we got multiple? Let's see what pops up here.
MVP.
On our Victoryland 777. Okay.
Okay. What is Shohei's got a dog named Decoy.
Oh, well, that's an interesting name for a dog.
That dog has hit the dog jackpot. Shohei's a great guy.
The dog's got the dog's the MVP, maybe. Look at another dog. Look at this.
Those are the two dogs. Gus and Penny are the dogs.
Man.
Yeah. Obviously, Aaron Judge follows the Dwayne Johnson school of on-air interview dress.
Yeah.
Oh, good gracious.
How about that?
He's a great guy as well. Major League Baseball is healthy. This upcoming year will be the best year, ratings-wise, competition-wise, in the history of Major League Baseball.
Boy, where have I heard that before?
And the Braves
back
in the playoffs.
Oh, here we go.
Under Walt Weiss.
When do pitchers and catchers report?
Next week. Just kidding. Yeah, about a month and a half, 2 months.
So we're wrapping up here from Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Prattville. Come by and see our friends. They're here for you today, tomorrow, all next week, whenever it's convenient for you. But come take advantage of the incredible selection and bottom line, price sells cars at Stivers CDJR here in Prattville. The fall savings event continues. Make sure you take advantage of it.
Yep. For all of my friends, if you've got something to text me, you better do it in 10 minutes because I'm fixing to be asleep. John Longshore, all of our guests today, Ralph Michaels from the Gold Sheet Wager Talk, Will Fisher from Capitol Hill, the RTJ site in Prattville, and, of course, our buddy Lee Sterling and the Phantom, Lee from Paramount Sports, and for our producer, Gurn Jr. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.